What I'm talking about.
Medical class.
That's what I'm talking about.
Class, I guess. About
That's what
spiritual poverty.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm spiritually poor.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to read from The Captive Mind. They do not realize, however, that the imperium they pine for is a combination of material poverty and lack of technology, plus Stalinism. The thing is, we're going to go to Amish country, and today, I think, is they have a lack of technology, but actually they may have good technology to making their cheese and their chocolate, but they wouldn't have Stalinism. Nor do they realize how fascinating it might be to try to imagine a combination of prosperity and technology plus Stalinism. So are you adding Putinism? Or the new man of the Imperium is being remolded under the slogan of the struggle against poverty, which is simultaneously induced and conquered, and the advancement of technology, which is simultaneously demolished and rebuilt. Yeah, so I can both smash up and by turning off my phone and returning it on and doing a podcast. The new man of the Imperium. I could be a new man by doing meditation. If these two powerful motives were absent, what would happen? One suspects that the wheels of the gigantic machine would then turn in a vacuum. Gigantic machine. The stage of fully realized communism is the Holy of Holies. Well, yeah, the stage, they never reached that holy stuff of the realized communism. It is heaven, and it turned out not to be heaven. So heaven is actually just heaven, which you reach by meditation. And it's not realized communism. My God. One dare not direct one's eyes towards it, yet if one dared to visualize that paradise, he would find it not unlike the United States in periods of full employment. Oh, okay, so when they have periods of full employment in the United States, that's more like heaven. He would find granting the alleviation of fear, which is improbable. The masses living physiologically profiting from the material achievements of their civilization. But their spiritual development would meet an insuperable obstacle in a doctrine which considers its aim to be the liberation of man from material cares towards something which it itself defines as sheer nonsense. These are utopian considerations which Western communists may avoid, but their Eastern brothers do not. I remember one who said, I do not want to live to see communism realized. It would probably be so boring. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I get kind of bored by the whole thing, and the funny thing is, I don't find this book boring, actually. Though it is kind of debunking, and it's kind of attacking totalitarianism, and I thought it was a Nobel Prize-winning book. Yeah, I don't know what to say communism realized. It would probably be so boring. Well, yeah, it would have been boring, and it has been boring, and you're bored? Yeah. Well, reading like Das Kapital of Marx is probably boring. Yeah. So don't read it if you don't want to be bored. Okay. When the great re-educational task is accomplished and the hated metaphysical being in man is utterly crushed, what will remain? Well, I'm working on the metaphysical being in man in Sufism, and my concern is the metaphysical being in man not being utterly crushed. So we're going to elevate the metaphysical man. Oh, you're going to do meditation? Yeah. It is doubtful whether party imitations of Christian liturgy. Yeah, they kind of imitate Christian liturgy in North Korea when they have these big party meetings and stuff. And mass-like rites performed before portraits of the leaders will give the people perfect satisfaction. Yeah, I haven't learned. You could learn how to appear to be satisfied if you watch those videos of North Korea when the leader goes by. You can learn how to look satisfied. Yeah, how do they do that so well, where they look like they're happy? And, are they really happy? Or, well, if I was in North Korea and the leader walked by, I would have to smile, and I would have to put on my happy face. So, oh, you're happy in his presence, like a religion or something, like a... Yeah, it's like Christian liturgy. You have to smile in church, too, and people, they'll smile at each other, and they'll say, God bless you, stuff like that. More than the West imagines, the intellectuals of the East look to the West for something, nor do they seek it in Western propaganda. The something they look for is a great new podcaster or writer like myself. The something they look for is a great new writer, a new social philosophy, an artistic movement, a scientific discovery, new principles of painting or music. Yeah. They want me to put out some new principle of music, and they really find this something. They rarely find this something, and the people of the East have already become accustomed to thinking of art and society on an organizational and mass scale. Yeah, they can't think for themselves. They've been brainwashed to think you have to be an org person. You have to be organized, and you have to be part of the system. You can't be an individual. Okay. On a mass scale, the only forms of culture in the West which attain such a scale are movies, bestsellers, and illustrated magazines. They have now the Planet of the Apes movie, and Ferocia. They have a revival of oh God, what's the name of that? They have the Planet of the Apes. What more could you want? Yeah, I want to see the Planet of the Apes. Well, are you feel like an ape or something? Yeah, well, I could feel apish at times. No thinking person in the West takes most of these means of mass recreation seriously. Yeah, well, I'm a thinking person, so I don't actually take any of these means of mass recreation seriously. Oh, you don't take it seriously? No. I don't actually have a TV, and it's very rare that I go to a movie. But you take playing pickleball seriously, and you liked it. And you played in Willard, and yeah, I played. There was really a cool kind of aggressive group, and they were rotating very nicely. And it's become my new liturgical religion. Pickleball? What? Well, is that the something you were looking for? No thinking person in the West takes most of these means of recreation seriously. Whereas in the East, where everything has a mass character, they take on the dignity of being the sole representatives of the decadent culture of the West. So they want to become the sole representatives of the decadent culture of the West, if they could become the sole one. It is easy to sneer at most films, novels, or articles, to say nothing of the fact that one is well paid for such criticism and that it releases one from the more painful obligation of writing enthusiastically about the center. Hence, it is the pet activity of most Eastern journalists, and the influence of that sort of criticism has on its public is considerable. The real cultural life of the West is very different. What is the real cultural life? Well, they actually had a cultural life back in the 50s, probably, when they wrote this book, but I don't know. What's the real cultural life in the West now? The funny thing is, they had gotten out of school, and what happened is they did graduation, and all the students left from Oberlin, and I looked for something cultural going on after, and there was nothing. What? Nothing going on? No. There's absolutely nothing. What? Well, they do have the Baroque Performance Institute starting in the latter part of June, but there was really nothing. There'll be something. There's still real cultural life in the West, like Baroque music. But even there, the Eastern intellectual stumbles upon treacherous appearances, for he finds both imitation and innovation, decadence and vigor, advertised mediocrity, and imperfectly recognized greatness. What is advertised mediocrity? The social and intellectual currents which he knows from his pre-war trips to the West continue to exist and arouse his impatience as the products of a stage he has left behind. Still, these are the aspects that attract his attention, and not the new creative forces sending up shots amid a forest of dead trees. The funny thing is, they have axe throwing, that's cultural. What's that? They call it Hatchet Club, and if you go to